Okay, Kat, um, for this Mysterio picture, I'm gonna work on him where he's more, a little cuter, like a little larger eyes. But if you want me to, just let me know, and I'd be happy to make one where he's more, um, like the one Mysterio's butterfly picture I made, more elongated chin and everything. But just like you, I start out with a circle. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I just sketch mine like this. And I start with the center line as well. Except for I make mine go a little bit farther out. Because then I'll do this, sort of go in with a little bit of a slopes, and kind of circle all the way around, because that will be where his chin is, and make another center line. But I'll go in and kind of, add in a little more detail, which you don't have to. But then I don't work on the face yet. I'll start making the body, because unlike you who freeforms or, use that, like, body shape guideline, I use, shapes. And this will make him more of a square, so I'll give him like a box for a body, like so. And like I said, this will be more of a cuter, sort of more chibified one. But if you want me to, I can do another video where he's more, more fish show, more handsome looking. Then we'll add in some, you know, circles for his arms. Make another line. Then we'll make this horizontal line. This is where his hips will be. Then we'll go and we'll add a little more, because Misty's more of a when he's like this, he's more box shaped, but when he's you know, more bishop, more, adultish looking, he's actually more of a triangular body shape, where he's wider at the shoulders. But let's continue on this one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make his legs apart, like this, give him more of a wider stance, where this knee will probably be a little bit higher. In fact, I'm going to resize this a little bit. Give us some more room for legs, because then I'm going to continue and then give him little boxes for feet, like that. I'm going to make one of his arms just, sort of like this. And whenever you make the arms with this, kind of draw a line, then around the midsection of him, around this gap, you'll make a circle for his elbow. Or, yeah, his elbow, and then you'll come down. Almost wanted to say knee. And usually, but to continue, I'll usually give him either like a little box or a little ovalish ball. Kind of give him a little tough man look going on. This. Then for a tail, I'll just simply draw like a line, like we'll do it like that. And I'm going to continue with it without getting the layer a little bit. But to go on drawing, I'll start here and I'll give him like this, sort of like smaller chin. Again, this is just how I draw this kind of style. I'll draw his eyes in, kind of give him more sharper eyes. Kind of give him more, intenser look. And if you want, you can add in these horizontal lines, to where the eyes will rest. I'm doing right now. In fact, I'll do that in red on the bottom layer. That way I won't get them mixed up. That way I can get them more correct, because I sometimes forget to use those, but sometimes I don't use them. But I love to use them a lot, sometimes. Let's go back in black. zoom in a little, and kind of slant his eyes a little, because my eyes aren't perfect. I said we'll give him a more, more meaner look. This for his nose, we'll just give him a little hit. Just make him sort of do like a little bit of a frowny pout, just for the hell of it. There we go. For the eyes, I could kind of do this. After I make the eyelashes, I kind of make it like an oval, looking in the direction. And this one, he'll have his ears and tail. And of course, you want to indent this a little bit where his eyes are, and then bring this out. Then kind of go a little wee in, a little bit wee in. Just go a little wee in, laddie. But that way, it'll add on to the shape. But since we're doing it like I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start on his hair. We'll just start off with his bangs. He has short bangs and some rather short hair that only goes down to about the base, almost about halfway or a little above his neck. But I do give my hair some more detail, especially when I go a little bit more, bichot and handsome. I'll give him, longer locks, but in all, his hair is the same. Around here, his hair will kind of like come in a little bit for about 2 little hair strands. Then we'll have a third one that goes out like this and kind of curves up this way. Over here, we'll do the same. We'll give him another, bang. Then their bang is set outside. And we give him this. I mean, I sometimes change his hair a little bit between each one, so it's never, really the same. But then when we go to drawing his hat, usually the hat will be rather close to the skull. So you can do like this little number. 2 parallel lines going along the skull. And then at the base, since he's at a more downward angle, there won't be really that much curve. But usually, when he's out, like this, the hat will kind of glimmer across the tips of the eyes, covering some of the eyes, as well as some of the bangs, but some pop out. But where he's at a downward angle, we'll see a lot of this. And we want to add in, if you want to extend it a little bit past, but keep the hat close to the head. Then we want to give him his band. Also, if you want, you can also do this number with it. Make it come up a little bit, but to be honest, I wouldn't do that with this. Just keep it straight, parallel. Well, not straight, curved, but then you go up here. We'll unite the 2 sides with, unite the 2 sides. We'll connect them. Unite, whatever the heck you want. But try and get it a little even, unlike what I'm doing. Sometimes the top hat is a little hard for me. And where there's a little bit of a chibier head, has a bigger head, so the hat will be bigger. Then we go in and we do this, but then we give it a little bit of a sliver. See, because we're at a downward angle. We'll then add in the top part of the band. We'll give him his card, which will change with his emotion or the situation. This one will just give him the club. And now, when we go to do this, we give him his neck, which does extend past a little bit. But on this one, his neck will be thinner, but if you draw him more facial, more handsome, his neck will be a little thicker. Then when you go to make his cape, kind of give him these and these kind of go in a little bit. Where you see this. Do the same thing over here, but since this side will be a little bit shorter and show a little more of this, since, you know, he's facing towards this way, and so this side will show a little more than this side. And kind of do this. Give it a little nook here. Show that they connect and that they're on the shoulder. But then, whenever you go to make his cape, it kind of drapes a little bit. Because for now, we'll just have him standing there. If you want a more action-like pose, just let me know. And again, I'll be happy to make these videos again. Then let's go in and sketch in the body a little bit. Even in his normal look, human, his body doesn't curve in like Luna's does. He has a more rectangular shape, like in this form, but he's more facial, more, you know, handsome, like the way you like him, where he has that look to him. He actually has a triangular shape where his shoulder's wider than his hips. Let's finish his hair. Like I said, you do kind of go in a little bit, and then you kind of want to get, again, his hair goes round towards the base of his skull, a little bit past. You know, it's not super long like Luna's. And we'll go in, we'll add in his shirt. His shirt, he has this collar, which will seep in like this. When you go up, kind of do this number just to give, you know, a little bit of an unbuttoned look. Because he usually likes his top collar unbuttoned a little bit, just like one button. Then we'll give him his collar, the shirt's collar. Now this side will hide, mostly behind, but you want to give a straight line to show where the top of the collar is against, you know, this, unless you want this to be the top of the collar, which probably should be. So you do this, then it will hide behind the cape a little bit. And if you really want, you can have a little strip of like leather or cloth kind of connecting this, and on both sides tips of gold with, and one side, this side, will actually be a golden button. If you want, you can add in a little circle there, but let's not for now. Then when you do his dress shirt, unlike a straight line down, what you want to do is kind of make it zigzag a little bit. And kind of show where the folds are. Which we'll do in a minute. Oh, let's go ahead and let's continue. His dress shirt does have a lot of, you know, bumps and stuff in them, because, you know, how his dress shirt, they tend to wrinkle a lot. But he will actually, along his body, will have a curve here where he's kind of leaning back a little. So there will be like a little, you know, a little yit right there, little close fold, which will lie right there. And of course you want to give it some wrinkles, but you can wait for that, because like how Luna has a long coat, Mysterio's shirt actually has tails on them on the end, which slit. So they're like two difference like this for his tail. So they will raise up a little bit, but they're actually rather long, going about halfway down his thigh. So it adds that little bit of a flare to it, but won't curve dramatically. But then when you go to draw this cape, since there's no wind blowing or anything, you can just, you know, just do some normal stuff. But there will be like folds and curves into the cape. so it'll drape off to the side a little bit. Kate's never usually straight unless, you know, you're lying it down. So then we'll go in with his arms. Usually I just give him like little boxes or cylinders. The arms, and around this part, it'll do that little bump, and then just come in a little bit. And with like long sleeve shirts and dress shirts, all in here, you will want, you know, to have bumps and stuff. So, or you know, for wrinkles and stuff, because dress shirts love to wrinkle around the elbows. That's where they wrinkle the most. And with jeans, which Miss does not have, he wears dress pants. When you do jeans, around the kneecaps is where they'll start, you know, to wrinkle a lot, and around the ankles. But we'll finish up his tails, his shirt tails, and then his other arm, like I said, little cylinders, very lightly, a little bump, and then just in. Kind of do the same on this side. Kind of like widthen the wrist out a little bit. Then we're gonna make little fists. Sometimes my shapes aren't, you know, pure circles or squares. Sometimes they're a little awkward. They go with the hand. But then when you go do his shirt, he has cups on his shirt, so you do this, kind of make this circle around it. Then they'll kind of go in a little bit, then they cover around part of the hand. And you want to do that on both sides. And then when you go to do his legs, sometimes you want to add this little curve here. And then when we go to doing his legs, again we'll give him some cylinders, because in this one they'll be more straight and not, you know, a whole lot of, you know, bumps. But whenever you do him in the air one, he does have muscles, so they do tend to show. But sometimes I don't follow my guides very well, because sometimes my guides are off. But that's okay. But this other leg will probably be, you know, a little bit higher up, where instead of like this one where it's pointing out. Well, actually, forget what I said. You'll try and make them more even. And then where his tail, he kind of has a ball tip tail sometimes, depending on how I feel. Sometimes he'll have a tail with more, you know, more hair sticking up. But for this, we'll just make him a little ball tail. Then, like with these dress pants, kind of go in a little bit. And I mean, they'll have a few wrinkles, but most of the time they'll stay straight. Like they'll drape here and then they'll drape out. And it'll hang around here. But this side will probably be, you know, closer to the body, so there'll be a few bumps and stuff. But like I said, most of the time, the dress pants stay straight. But that's just basic figure for Miss. Let me go in and fix this toe fit, because it looks, whoa, crap. not so bad, but that's sort of what it look like. And again, go in and add in the pants again. Like I said, there will be a few wrinkles and stuff, but mainly located near the knees. But that's basically what Mist is. And of course, he wears these dress shoes. Shorten these a little bit. And when you drew those, just do like you normally do. Add in these, you know, little shoe tips, and just make a line. And you can make just like little zigzags for shoelaces. But basically, with his cape, he'll drape. He'll drape a lot, unless there's wind. Let's not make it so stiff. You don't want to make his clothes stiff looking, because then it just doesn't look right. Yet, of course, his tail will actually, you know, cause the cape to come up a little bit. Maybe around here they'll come up a little bit, because his tail will probably come out here, and then, because Mist tends to have a rather long tail, but I haven't worked out the whole tail cape thing. He may just have 2 slits down his thing in a later design, but that'll be the only real change to him. Will be that cape slit for his tail. But out of most of all, that's basically how you draw Mysterio. I'm just adding a little final touches and fixing a few things. But Mysterio is actually a rather easy character to draw, because he's so simplistic in design. Just the only thing you'll have to worry about is all the folds and wrinkles along his body and his arms, because where he wears that dress shirt, wrinkles and folds will appear everywhere, especially if he hasn't ironed them. Then he doesn't look too good. But he's very peculiar about ironing his clothes before he goes out, before he goes to conquer the world and created a new stop war. But that's basically cute little Mysterio. And so with that, I hope you found this entertaining. But before we go, we're going to add in some stuff to his eyes. Where his eyes are large, you can add in quite a bit of detail. So we'll give him these shines, and then we'll just go and give him more, you know, cat-like, you know, pupils, more sharpened, and we'll fill those in a little. And then we'll just make a little arc here, and then kind of just fill this in above the arc, connecting the pupil and everything. Gives it a more anime feel. More, or well, not real anime, but more, you know, connected shadows. And that is Mysterio. We'll work on this a little bit. But I'm not going to finish his hands or anything. But I hope you found this interesting, and I hope you found it alright, and I hope you like it.